Hello and welcome back to another Team Tiny Hop. This month we'll be sharing designs from TLC Designs Shop, and they so graciously gave us some options to choose from their line of digital stamps, and I chose these adorable puppies. This fun puppy set is called Posh Pups, and it is found on the TLC Designs Shop website. And it comes with quite a few different images and sayings, as well as there is matching digital paper that you can order as well. And I just wanted to show you with the digital stamps how easy it is to size it and even flip pieces around. So I am using just my Word program, regular Word, Microsoft Word program on my computer, nothing fancy. And you can see how I can flip the dog around. I can make the bed bigger or smaller. I always start off with moving my margins to the smallest size possible so that I get as much space on my paper as I can. I did move this kind of more towards the center of the paper just because I wasn't sure how big I wanted my design to be. And then also I always change the little tab on the side of each image to go through the image. It shows you can put it in front or in back of your image. You can put it tight or through the image. There's just lots of different options. So I always click on that and then change it to go to the, I believe it says the back of it. So that way you can move the images on top of each other and layer them, and the words also won't be in the way of the images, and otherwise it'll shove things around on the paper and it's quite frustrating. As you can see, there's some fun little hair bows that you can put on the dogs. There's also a little necktie you can put on. There's a doggy dish with bones, and then bones that are separate, and a ball and a hat. So there's lots of different ways you can use this set. There's also I think they look like little Christmas ornament images. So I with a little hat and those little ornaments, you could make it Christmassy. And so one of the cards I will be doing today, I'm going to do as a Christmas one with the present and then the hat on the dog. So lots of different fun options you can do with this, and a lot of different sayings as well. I only printed off 2 of the different papers that you can print out, but as you can see, they're very vibrant colors. They print out really nicely. You can size them differently, so you could just have an A2 size if you wanted to, and then the images would be a lot smaller. I printed out, stretched out and did a whole sheet in the red and the blue, and I really like the colors and how bright and vibrant they are. I created 3 different layouts so that I could do 3 different cards. I am only going to show you the process for the large puppy with the present and the hat today. And I didn't show you my coloring on screen because mine is just nothing that special. So I did color him and then I cut him out, and then I'm going to cut out the image with the little pom-pom on top of his hat gone, and then also with the present center cut out, because I'm going to make this into a shaker card, or at least that was my plan, and it didn't happen, but I didn't really think about how the process would work. So you can kind of see me muddle my way through it. I am showing that I did use my black pen, going from the back to color in the side so that you can't see the white lines around it, and just kind of cleans up the image a little bit. So, and as I'm doing a background here, I didn't use some of the backgrounds paper on this one because it wasn't Christmassy, and I wanted to kind of get the green and reds for Christmas. And my process here is very messy, and it looks like just a ginormous mess, and I need to get some different blending brushes, and not to mention these are just Stampin' Up! Ink pads, so it's regular water-based ink, so it just doesn't blend. It's not blending ink, so to speak, so it just doesn't blend very well, and the brush I have is way too small for the green, but it ends up coming out okay. I make it work. So it just looks to me like I'm going to go with a Monet. Kind of looks like a Monet mess here. But I am definitely not Monet. And, but that kind of was what it reminded me of, was these bright pops of red, maybe flowers, amongst the green. And that's kind of what it reminded me of. But I used some Stampin' Up! Refill white ink to do some splatters on my background. And normally I would do this in a splatter box because for some reason I get splatter pretty much everywhere except for where I really want it. So I made a hot mess and had to clean that up as well. But I do think the splatters kind of helped disguise my background. And a lot of it's going to be covered anyway by the puppy. He's a big puppy, and on the slimline card. So you won't really, I don't think, notice the hot mess that my background really is. So I use a square die that's actually fit really well for the present package, and found some Christmas paper that I like to go with it, and glued all that down. And I just, I probably should have thought more about how am I going to make this into a shaker before I did this, because it's a really thin line there, trying to put some foam tape around that. But I ended up making it work. I glued down some thin acetate, might have been even been packaging, I don't even know. And then I used some of the squares that I used to cut out the present, and I just made 4 of those out of nice thick cardstock, and use that thin line to stack those and use that as the kind of box for my shaker pieces. I probably could have gone with a 5 or 6 of the little squares to stack up, make it a little bit easier to shake, but these little sea beads, or whatever you want to call them, little beads that I got just on Amazon, nothing specific as far as brand, they fit in there really well. And I always struggle with how many beads to actually put in a shaker, and I really should have put a lot more in here. Sometimes I fill it up so much then things don't move around like they should, and this time I didn't fill it up enough, but it is what it is. And then I just used my thin foam tape to back it up, and it actually came together fairly well. I was happy with it. I had a vision. I didn't know how it was going to come together, but it did, and I thought it was a cute card. I wasn't able to really get any sentiment on there because the puppy is just so big, it just kind of takes up the whole space, which is okay for me, because I always have a trouble with slimline cards and feeling like, gosh, how am I going to fill this card up, because there's just so much space to take up. And of course, no matter how much anti-static powder I use, there always seems to be beads or sequins getting stuck in the box somewhere. But I just glue this down, take off all my sticky backs for my foam tape, and get him on there. And I thought he turned out really cute. And then I used a little pom-pom for his actual pom-pom on the top of his hat. So this might be a little bit tricky to mail. If you wanted to mail it, it'd have to be in a bubble wrap probably. And then I used some glossy accents after I unstuck it, and shine up his tongue and his eyeballs. And then at the end, you can see the other cards I was able to make with the other images I had. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll subscribe and come again. And I'll hope you check out TLC Designs Shop. Thanks for coming.